Hello, and welcome back to Talk Lish, the podcast dedicated to helping you move beyond the textbook and into the world of confident, real-world English. I'm your host, Mark.
And I'm Sarah. We are so excited you're joining us today for what we believe will be one of the most practical and transformative episodes we've ever done.
We've all been there. You've studied the grammar, you've memorized vocabulary, but when you're in a real conversation, you feel stuck. You find yourself using the same simple words over and over. I think, I agree, it is good. Today, we are going to smash through that wall.
That's right. We're going to give you 10 powerful, versatile phrases that will instantly boost your spoken English. These aren't just random idioms. These are functional tools. They are the phrases that native speakers use every single day to express opinions, manage conversations, and sound more articulate and natural. Mastering these will be a complete game changer for your fluency.
This is your upgrade from survival English to sophisticated English. For each phrase, we're going to break down what it means, why it's so powerful, show you exactly how to use it in a real mini dialogue, and, most importantly, practice the pronunciation with you.
Before we jump in and reveal the first phrase, we want to give a huge thank you to our amazing community. Your support means everything to us. If you're ready to upgrade your English with us, please take a quick second to hit that subscribe button right now. It ensures you won't miss out on any of our future lessons.
And if you find value in today's episode, please give it a like and drop us a comment below. We'd love to know, what is one English phrase you've learned that made you feel more confident? Sharing your experience helps everyone.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Get your notebooks ready. And more importantly, get ready to speak out loud with us. Let's dive into the first powerful phrase.
The way I see it is, all right, let's kick things off with a fantastic alternative to the most overused phrase in the English learner's toolkit, I think.
We all say, I think, constantly. It's correct, but it's basic. If you want to sound more thoughtful and articulate when sharing your opinion, you need a better tool. Our first phrase is, the way I see it is...
This is such a great phrase. Why is it so powerful, Sarah?
It's powerful for a couple of reasons. First, it implies that you are offering a specific perspective. It says, this is my personal viewpoint based on my own experience or analysis. It sounds much more considered than a simple, I think. Second, it's a fantastic way to introduce your opinion in a discussion or debate without sounding aggressive. It's collaborative. You're not stating a fact, you're sharing your interpretation.
Exactly. It's perfect for work meetings, classroom discussions, or even just a friendly debate with friends. Let's listen to how it sounds in a natural conversation. Let's say we're discussing whether a 4-day work week is a good idea. Example dialogue. Some studies show that productivity goes down with a 4-day work week. I'm not sure it's a good idea for all industries.
That's a valid concern. The way I see it is a shorter week forces companies to be more efficient and could lead to better employee well-being, which boosts productivity in the long run.
See how that works? Sarah acknowledged my point, that's a valid concern, and then presented her different perspective using the phrase. It made the conversation feel like a discussion, not an argument.
Now, let's talk about pronunciation and flow. The phrase is, the way I see it. Native speakers often link the words together smoothly. See it sounds like see it, and it is sounds like it is.
It flows like this. The way I see it is... Let's practice it together. We'll say it, and you repeat in the pause.
The way I see it is...
A little faster, more naturally. The way I see it is...
A common mistake learners make is forgetting the is at the end. They'll say, the way I see it, a shorter week is good. That's grammatically okay, but the full phrase, the way I see it is stronger and more complete.
So, your mission is to swap out I think for the way I see it is at least once this week. It will instantly make your opinion sound more thoughtful. I couldn't agree more.
Okay, moving on from opinions to agreement. We all know how to say, I agree. But what if you don't just agree? What if you enthusiastically and 100% agree?
That's when you need our second phrase, I couldn't agree more. This is a powerhouse of a phrase for showing strong agreement.
It might sound a bit confusing because of the negative word couldn't, but what it actually means is, it is impossible for me to agree with you any more than I do right now, because I already agree completely.
It's much more emphatic and passionate than just, yes, I agree. It's perfect for when someone says something that you feel strongly about. Let's listen to it in action. Imagine we're talking about the importance of travel.
I really believe that traveling and experiencing other cultures is one of the best forms of education.
I couldn't agree more. It teaches you things about the world and yourself that you can never learn from a book.
In that dialogue, Mark showed that he didn't just passively agree. He shared my passion for the idea. It builds a strong connection in a conversation.
Let's break down the pronunciation. The stress is on the word more. I couldn't agree more. The word couldn't is often said very quickly, almost like couldn't.
Listen to the rhythm. I couldn't agree more. Let's practice. Repeat after us.
I couldn't agree more. Again, with that strong stress on the last word. I couldn't agree more. A pro tip here. Don't overuse this phrase. Because it's so strong, it loses its power if you say it in response to everything. Save it for moments when you genuinely feel that enthusiastic agreement. For simple agreement, exactly or that's so true work perfectly.
So, next time you feel that jolt of, yes, that's exactly how I feel, unleash this phrase.
I see your point, but...
We've covered opinions and strong agreement. Now for one of the most difficult but essential communication skills, polite disagreement.
This is so important. Directly saying, I disagree or you're wrong can sound very harsh and confrontational in many cultures, especially in professional settings. Our third phrase is your secret weapon for disagreeing politely and respectfully. I see your point, but...
This phrase is pure communication gold. It works in two parts. The first part, I see your point, validates the other person. It says, I have listened to you, I understand your logic, and I respect your opinion.
This instantly lowers their defenses. You're not attacking them. Only after you've shown that you understand, you use the word but to gently introduce your own counterpoint or different perspective.
It transforms a potential argument into a constructive discussion. Let's use our 4-day workweek example again.
Example dialogue.
I just think every company should switch to a 4-day workweek immediately. It's better for everyone.
I see your point, but have we considered how that might affect industries that need 24/7 coverage, like hospitals or customer support centers?
See how Mark did that? He didn't say my idea was bad. He validated it. I see your point. And then introduced a different angle. But have we considered? It's respectful and smart.
Let's focus on the tone and pronunciation. The first part, I see your point, should be said with genuine, calm sincerity. The but should be gentle, not aggressive.
The flow is smooth. I see your point, but let's practice. Repeat after us.
I see your point, but...
Again, with that calm, respectful tone. I see your point, but...
The most common mistake here is the tone of voice. If you say, I see your point, in a sarcastic or dismissive way, the phrase backfires completely. You have to mean it. You must genuinely acknowledge their perspective before you introduce your own.
This phrase will make you sound more emotionally intelligent, diplomatic, and professional in any discussion.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Let's move on to a very practical and common situation. You're in a conversation and someone says something. Maybe they spoke too fast or had a strong accent, or there was a loud noise, and you missed it.
What do most learners do? They panic. They might just nod and smile, hoping it wasn't a question. This is a dangerous habit. Our fourth phrase is the simple, confident, and natural way to handle this. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
This is so much better than saying, "What?" which can sound a bit rude, or "Can you repeat that?" which is correct, but can sound a little robotic and formal. "I didn't catch that" is the friendly, everyday phrase native speakers use.
The word catch here means to hear or understand. So you're literally saying, my ears didn't grab the words you said. It's a blameless phrase. You're not accusing them of speaking badly, you're just stating a fact.
It shows you're engaged and you want to understand. Let's hear it. Imagine I'm giving Mark my phone number.
Okay, so my number is 5550199.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Did you say 0119 or 0159?
See, it's smooth and easy. I immediately asked for clarification on the part I missed. It keeps the conversation flowing without any awkwardness.
Let's practice the pronunciation. The key is in the words didn't catch. We don't say did not catch. We say didn't catch. The two T sounds often blend together.
It sounds like, sorry, I didn't catch that. Let's try it. Repeat after us. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Again, with a friendly, apologetic tone. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
A pro tip for using this phrase: if you know what part you missed, you can be more specific to help the other person. For example, sorry, I didn't catch the last part, or sorry, I didn't catch the name of that restaurant. This makes it even easier for them to help you.
Stop nodding and smiling. Use this phrase. It shows confidence and a genuine desire to communicate. Could you elaborate on that? This next phrase is a level up from our last one. Sometimes you hear every word someone says, but you don't fully understand their idea. You need more information or a deeper explanation.
In this situation, asking, "What do you mean?" can sometimes sound a little too direct or even challenging. A more sophisticated and polite phrase is our fifth one. Could you elaborate on that?
The verb to elaborate means to add more detail to something, to expand upon it. So when you ask this, you're saying, "That's an interesting idea. Please tell me more about it. Give me more details."
This is an incredibly powerful phrase in academic and professional settings. It shows that you are not only listening, but you are thinking critically about what's being said. It signals deep engagement. Let's imagine a team meeting.
To increase sales, I think we need to focus on a new marketing strategy.
That sounds promising. Could you elaborate on that?
what kind of strategy are you thinking of?
A perfect use. Sarah showed she was interested and then prompted me to provide the necessary details. It's a great way to guide a conversation and get the information you need.
Let's look at the pronunciation of elaborate. It has 4 syllables. E-lab-o-rate. The stress is on the second syllable, lab.
The whole question flows together. Could you often sounds like could you. So it sounds like, could you elaborate on that? Let's practice.
Could you elaborate on that?
Again, with a curious and interested tone. Could you elaborate on that?
A common mistake is to confuse this with, can you repeat that? Remember, repeat is for when you didn't hear the words. Elaborate is for when you heard the words, but you don't fully understand the idea and need more detail.
Using this phrase will make you sound intelligent, curious, and like a fantastic listener. On top of that,
Okay, our next phrase is a fantastic tool for structuring your arguments or telling a story. Often, you want to add another point to support your idea.
many learners will just say and or also, which is fine. But if you want to add a point that builds upon the previous one, making your argument even stronger, our 6th phrase is perfect. On top of that.
Imagine you were building a tower of blocks. Each block makes the tower taller and stronger. That's what this phrase does for your argument. It means, in addition to what I just said, here is another even more compelling reason.
It's great for making a persuasive point or for complaining about a series of bad events. Let's listen. Imagine we're discussing why a new restaurant is so great.
The food at that new Italian place is incredible. The pasta is handmade and so fresh.
I know! And on top of that, the service is amazing. The waiters are so friendly and attentive.
In that example, Mark added another strong positive point, making the case for the restaurant even better. Now, let's try a negative example.
Our flight was delayed by 3 hours.
Oh no, and on top of that, they lost my luggage when we finally arrived.
It works perfectly in both situations. It just adds emphasis. Let's check the pronunciation. The words link together beautifully. On top of that. Sounds almost like one word. On top of that.
Let's practice that flow. On top of that.
Pause for listener repetition.
Again, really connecting those words. On top of that.
Pause for listener repetition. A pro tip. This phrase is best used for adding just 1 or 2 powerful related points. If you have a long list of things to say, it's better to use simpler connectors like also, next, and finally. On top of that is for impact.
Use this to make your arguments more persuasive and your stories more compelling.
Off the top of my head,
This next phrase is one of my absolute favorites. It's a high-level phrase that solves a very common problem, being asked a question you don't immediately know the answer to.
instead of just sitting in silence while you think, which can be awkward, you can use our 7th phrase to manage the situation gracefully. Off the top of my head.
This is a brilliant idiom. It means based on the first thoughts that come into my mind without doing any deep research or thinking. It does 2 things simultaneously. First, it buys you a few seconds to think. Second, it manages the listener's expectations. You're signaling that your answer might not be 100% complete or accurate, but it's your best initial thought.
It makes you sound fluent and natural even when you're thinking. It's incredibly useful in job interviews, meetings, or any spontaneous conversation.
Let's listen. Imagine I ask Sarah for some recommendations.
I'm visiting London next month. Do you have any recommendations for good museums?
That's a great question. Off the top of my head, I'd say you definitely have to visit the British Museum and the Natural History Museum. There are probably others, but those are the two big ones that come to mind.
That was perfect. Sarah used the phrase to give herself a moment to think and then provided a great answer, while also implying that it wasn't a complete, exhaustive list.
Let's practice the pronunciation. This phrase flows very smoothly. Off the top of my head sounds like off the top of my head.
Let's try that linked sound, off the top of my head.
A little faster now. Off the top of my head.
The common mistake is to use this for simple facts you should know. For example, if someone asks your name, you wouldn't say, off the top of my head, my name is Mark. It's for when you need to recall information, generate ideas, or give an opinion on the spot.
This is your secret weapon for sounding smooth and in control, even when you're put on the spot.
In a nutshell, our 8th phrase is all about being clear and concise. Sometimes, after you've explained a long, complex idea, or after a long discussion, you need to summarize the most important point.
A simple way is to say, to summarize. But a more colorful and common idiom that native speakers love is in a nutshell. Imagine a nutshell. It's very small, but it contains the entire seed, the most important part of the plant. That's what this phrase means. You are about to provide the main idea in a very brief, compact way. It's perfect for concluding a presentation, ending an explanation, or just getting to the main point of a story. Let's say we just had a long meeting about a project's problems.
So, we've discussed the budget issues, the staffing shortages, and the software delays.
Yes, in a nutshell, we're behind schedule and over budget, so we need to make some serious changes immediately.
Sarah's summary in that dialogue was crystal clear. She took a long discussion and boiled it down to its essential meaning using in a nutshell. Let's practice the sound. It's quite straightforward. In a nutshell. The emphasis is on nut.
Let's practice. In a nutshell.
Pause for listener repetition. Again, in a nutshell. Pause for listener repetition. A pro tip for using this. Make sure your summary is actually short and to the point. The purpose of the phrase is to signal brevity. If you say, in a nutshell, and then continue talking for 5 more minutes, the phrase loses its meaning.
Use this to sound clear, decisive, and respectful of other people's time.
Does that make sense?
This next phrase is not about what you say, but about making sure the other person understands you. Communication is a two-way street, and effective communicators check for understanding.
Many learners are so focused on producing correct sentences that they forget to check if their message is being received. Our 9th phrase is the best way to do this politely and collaboratively. Does that make sense?
This is so much better than asking, "Do you understand?" which can sometimes sound a little condescending, as if you're questioning the other person's intelligence. "Does that make sense?" puts the responsibility on your explanation. You're asking, "Have I explained this clearly?"
It's humble and effective. It invites the other person to ask questions and turns a monologue into a dialogue. It's essential when explaining a process, giving instructions, or sharing a complex idea.
Example dialogue. So you just need to download the attachment, fill out the form, and then re-upload it to the shared drive. Does that make sense?
Yes, mostly. Just one quick question. Which folder in the drive should I upload it to?
See? The phrase created an opportunity for Mark to ask a clarifying question without feeling stupid. It ensured we were both on the same page.
Let's practice the pronunciation. It's a question, so the intonation should rise at the end. Does that make sense?
Let's try it together. Does that make sense?
Again, with that upward lift at the end. Does that make sense?
A common mistake is to only use this when you think someone is confused. A pro tip is to use it proactively, even when you think they understand. It shows that you care about clarity and makes you a more effective communicator.
It's a small phrase that has a huge impact on the quality of your communication. At the end of the day,
We've arrived at our 10th and final phrase, and it's a powerful one for stating the ultimate conclusion or the most fundamental point of a matter.
after a long discussion with many different points and opinions, you often need a way to cut through the noise and state the bottom line. For this, we use the phrase, "at the end of the day."
This doesn't literally mean at the end of the 24-hour day. It means when all is said and done, ultimately, or the most important thing to remember is, it's used to give a final, decisive thought on a situation.
It's perfect for summarizing the main takeaway from a complex issue. Let's imagine we've been debating different vacation destinations for half an hour. One is cheap, one is relaxing, one has great food.
So Italy has the best food, but Thailand is more affordable, and the beach resort in Mexico would be the most relaxing.
That's all true. But at the end of the day, we only have a 5-day vacation, so we need to choose somewhere with a short flight. That's the most important factor.
Sarah's use of the phrase brought the discussion back to the single most important constraint. It helped to make a decision.
Let's practice the pronunciation. It flows very smoothly. At the end of the day can sound like at the end of the day.
Let's try it. At the end of the day. Again, with that feeling of finality, at the end of the day.
A pro tip. This phrase is used to state a concluding opinion, not a simple fact. It carries weight. It's your final word on a subject, so use it to emphasize a point you feel strongly about.
And there you have it, 10 incredibly powerful phrases to boost your spoken English.
Your mission and final thoughts. Wow, that was a lot of information, but hopefully incredibly useful. We've covered phrases for sharing opinions, agreeing, disagreeing, clarifying, adding points, summarizing, and concluding.
Remember, these are your tools. Learning them is the first step, but using them is what creates fluency. You don't have to master all 10 at once. In fact, you shouldn't.
So here is your mission from us at Talk Lish. We want you to choose just 2 of these phrases. Pick the 2 that you feel would be most useful for you in your daily life or work.
Write them down. Say them out loud. Practice the pronunciation we worked on. And for the next week, your only goal is to find one opportunity to use each of those 2 phrases in a real conversation, or even just writing an email or a message.
Maybe you'll use "the way I see it is" in a team meeting. Or maybe you'll use "sorry, I didn't catch that" when talking to a friend. The key is to take them from passive knowledge to active skill.
And let us know which 2 you choose. Come back to this episode and leave us a comment below telling us your 2 phrases. We would love to cheer you on.
Thank you so much for joining us today and for putting in the effort to actively improve your English. Remember to subscribe so you never miss a lesson.
Until next time, keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking. You are doing a fantastic job. Bye for now.